Hi there, my name's Chandra Cantor and I'm here with a flow yoga class. As always, please go at your own pace, rest whenever you need to, modify anything you need to. If something I'm offering doesn't work for you, you can skip it, change it, do what feels right for you throughout your practice. Let's start lying on our backs today. So you can come into a savasana type position, spread out. And either close your eyes or just take a soft gaze up towards the ceiling and let the weight of your body rest back into the floor. And anytime you notice that your mind has wandered or you're checked out or overthinking, just as soon as you notice, see if you can come back and feel this breath. Feel where your body is right now. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them as it's useful for you. We'll begin by sliding arms overhead and stretching out long through your arms and legs, reaching through your fingers and your toes. And then interlace your fingers and press out through your palms and flex your feet. Reaching through the heels of your hands, the heels of your feet. And then release. Bring your right knee to your chest. Give that knee a good squeeze in. Releasing deep into your hip crease, dropping your shoulders, dropping your chin so the back of the neck is long. And then straighten this leg up towards the ceiling, holding somewhere behind your leg. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And then release, bend your knee in, open your knee out to the right, and then straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of the left leg. And then release, bend your knee, bring it across, spinal twist. Staying in your twist, try straightening your right leg on a low diagonal, right arm on a high diagonal, letting fingers and toes reach away from one another. And then release, roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in and take a little circle or rock with your knees. Let's grab hold of just the left knee, drop the right leg long, squeeze this knee in close. Straighten this leg up towards the ceiling and then flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And then bend your knee back in, open your knee out to the left, and straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of the right leg. And then release, bend your knee, bring it across, spinal twist, first with a bent knee. And then straighten the left leg on a low diagonal, left arm on a high diagonal. And release. Roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Take a little circle or rock with your knees. And then drop your feet to the floor. And we'll do a little core work. Start by drawing the belly in, pressing the lower back down from the inside. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Exhale, lift the head and chest up. Inhale, release down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Let's take two more. Last one. And then release. Send your right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, head up. Inhale, head down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Let's take one more. And then release and switch. Left leg high. Exhale, head up. Inhale, head down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Up. And down. One more on this side. And then release. Switch again. Right leg high. This time take your left arm across. Each time you exhale, reach a little further across. Keep the belly drawing in strongly. Let's take one more. And then release and switch again. Left leg high, right arm across. Last one. And then release. Stretch long through your arms and legs. Bring your knees in, little circle or rock. And then roll your way up to sitting. And let's come all the way into a high push-up position. Set your hands shoulder width apart. Connect your head to your heels, whole body in a straight long line. And then shift your weight forward to lower down, low push-up. And come into your back bend, cobra or up dog, as low or high as feels right for you. So you might test the waters, little movement. How's this feeling today? Back to down dog when you're ready, hips high. You can pedal out your feet a little bit, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor. Waking up the backs of your legs. And then drop your knees and let's sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels, forehead to the floor. Just a reminder that you can rest anytime, whether you rest in this shape or a different one. Resting can be as useful as all the work, being able to let go. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left and pull back through the right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. And then back to center. Lift up through table. Come back through down dog and then walk your hands and feet towards one another and we'll hang in ragdoll. Feet hip width apart, parallel. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. You might take a sway or shake out, letting the upper body release. Bend your knees a little more and slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing. Let's step up to the front of the mat. We'll bring hands together. Feet can be together or apart. Come into your mountain pose, Tadasana. Feel your feet into the floor. Lengthen up away from that. We'll take a full A-series sun salutation. Next inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen, part way up. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Let's take 5 deep breaths in down dog or in child's pose or sitting or hands and knees or forearms, really any neutral shape. More important than the shape, coming back to breath, coming back to presence. Last deep breath in and out. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. This time from down dog, take your right leg up to the ceiling, bend your knee to your chest, and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint, feeling what you're doing. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, send it a bit higher, and then bring your right knee towards right upper arm. Shift your weight forward, extend it up and back. Take it across towards left upper arm, little twist. Reach it up and back. All right, towards the center of your chest, working core strength. Extend it up and back. Big step forward. High lunge. Inhale, arms up. Settle in. Let's grab the left wrist, take it across, little side bend. Come over to the other side, grab your right wrist, take it across. Back to center, interlace fingers behind your back. Lift the chest. Still feel your feet into the floor, hips dropping, breathing. Arms up. Tip forward, standing splits, hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. We'll do this with hips square and with the upper body letting go. Like ragdoll, let your head hang, let your neck release. Last breath. Big step back. Warrior one. Inhale, arms up. Sink low, deep bend in that front leg. One more breath here. Release, hands to the floor. Make your way back to down dog. So each transition you might take a vinyasa, high to low push-up, up dog or cobra to down dog, but you could also skip any part of that or add some other movement. Move at your pace. Whatever you're choosing to do, feeling that. When you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Bend your knee in and start circling. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, send it a little higher, and then left knee towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. Take it across towards right upper arm. Send it up and back. And right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward. High lunge. Inhale, arms up. Deep bend in the front leg, sink low. Let's grab the right wrist, take it across. Side bend. And then over to the other side. Grab your left wrist, take it across. Come back to center, interlace fingers behind your back. Other thumb on top. Lift the heart, sink the hips. Release arms up. Tip forward, standing splits. Hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. Finding ease through the upper body and really reaching that back leg straighter, longer, higher. Last breath. Big step back. Warrior one. Last breath here. Release. Make your way back to down dog. And then settle into a good rest, letting go of all of that. Even while you're resting, keeping breath slow and deep. Let's come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward, inhaling flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Let's take just the right arm up as we inhale. Exhale over to a side bend. The left arm can provide support. If you need more support, you might bend your elbow. Reach long, feet pushing into the floor, strong legs, strong core. Reach a little further out to come up and release down. Same thing other side. Big side stretch. Reach a little further out to come up and release down. Interlace fingers, press out through your palms and take your arms up by your ears. From here we'll come up to a little balance on the toes. You can lift your heels a little or a lot. As you do this, draw the belly in to protect the lower back. Drop your shoulders, but reach arms straight. then begin to fold forward, staying in balance on the toes. You can bring your hands to your legs wherever they meet. Might be the upper legs. If you're able to reach lower, you can go towards the ankles or heels. Try not to lock your knees, breathing wherever you are. And then release. Drop your hands, drop your heels, drop your head. Let that go. We'll bend the knees and come into chair, Utkatasana. And then fine tune in all the ways you know how. Hips low, head high, shoulders low. Last breath here. Release, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up, one breath. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Let's come into warrior three. Shift forward and find your balance. You're welcome to modify or adjust however you need to. 100% effort, 100% surrender. Last breath. Step back. Warrior one. Release through some movement transition, whatever that is for you. You get to choose. Left leg sweeps up when you're ready. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior three. Last breath. Step back. Warrior one. Release. Making your way to a good rest. Coming back to ease. Last breath here. We'll make our way through down dog and step or hop your feet forward, inhaling flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up, inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten. Again, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra, and back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up, one breath. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior three, one breath. Step back, warrior one. From here, open out, warrior two, and then take your time adjusting, feeling your body in this shape. Flip the right palm, reverse warrior two. Straighten the front leg, triangle. Expanding past the tips of the fingers, past the top of the head. Last breath. Release, hands to the floor, make your way back to down dog. When you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge, arms up. Warrior 3, 1 breath. Step back, warrior 1. Open out, warrior 2. Continuing the fine-tuning, using what you feel, what you know, to come into the healthiest, fullest expression of each of these shapes. Flip the left palm, reverse warrior 2. And in each of these shapes, something else is being stirred up, different sensations, different situations to be with. What are you noticing? What are you feeling here? Straighten the front leg, triangle. Last breath. Release. Make your way back to down dog, feeling each moment, taking the time you need. And then settle into a good rest, letting go. Come back through down dog. And step or hop your feet forward, inhaling flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up. Inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten. Again, inhale, chair. From here, let's come into a twist. Left elbow across to the outside of the right knee. Work the palms towards the center of the chest. Opening through the top shoulder, lengthening head and tail away from one another. Back to center, hips low, arms high. Same thing other side. Right elbow across. Work the palms towards the center of the chest. And back to center, hips low, arms high. Interlace fingers behind your back. Lift the chest. And then fold, wrapping arms overhead. And you can separate your feet, hip width apart or wider. If this is too tight for your shoulders, you can also separate your hands by holding something, a strap or scarf between your hands. And then release the arms all the way down. Let that go. Let's lower the hips. We'll come into a squat, malasana. Feel free to widen your stance or turn out your toes or do whatever you need to so that this works for your body. It's fine to bounce on the toes if your heels don't come to the floor, but you could also slide something under the heels or sit on something if that would work better for you. Let's open up the knees using the elbows. Roll the shoulders back and down, opening up the chest. And we'll work our root lock here, Mula Bandha. Same as a Kegel exercise. As you exhale, draw the pelvic floor muscles in and up. As you inhale, release. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. And then engage and keep holding, keep breathing, drawing in strongly through the bottom and connecting that to the top. Feel the full length and space that you take up. And release. Let's come back to a forward fold. Feet back to parallel. Any arm position you like here. You
could grab your big toes. You could take a handful of your hair and pull your head towards the floor. You can give your own neck and shoulders a little squeeze. Letting go. Let's take a little step back from the front of the mat and we'll get set up for a crow pose. If you don't want to do crow, you can also just stay in your forward fold or come back to your squat. Set the hands shoulder width apart. Bend the knees, place them somewhere on the upper arms, anywhere from the elbows to the armpits, and begin shifting your weight forward. If toes become weightless, go ahead and lift them up. If they're not yet weightless, see if you can be where you are. Possibly shifting more weight forward. Breathing wherever you are. Can your face be relaxed right here? And let's release. If you can, take stand hand as a wrist release. Slide one hand at a time under the feet so the toes are up to the wrists. If that does not work for you, you could just give your wrists a little circle or rub. And then we'll make our way back to down dog. If you want to take crow again, work on hopping out of crow, that's one option. You could also just step back or take a regular vinyasa to get back. From down dog, when you're ready, right leg sweeps up, step forward, high lunge, arms up. Let's come into a twist here, left elbow across. Work the palms towards the center of the chest. If you would rather do this as a low lunge, that's another option. You could take a different arm position, customizing in any way that works for you. Last breath. Release, hands to the floor, step up, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Roll open through the left hip, through the left shoulder, extending left arm high, going towards a straight line, through the arms, from the head to the left foot, lengthening. Last breath. Release, hands to the floor. Let's tuck the left knee behind that bottom ankle. And you can come to sitting, getting set up for a seated spinal twist. If you got lost along the way, have your right foot to the outside of the left knee. And if this doesn't work for you, you can also do the same pose with the bottom leg straight. So left leg straight or bent. Bring the right hand to the floor behind us. Left arm will either hug the knee or hook to the outside of the knee. Each time you inhale, sit a little taller. Each time you exhale, rotate a little bit more, but keep going towards length as you twist. One more breath here. Let's release. Keep the legs as they are. Walk your hands around. Take a little counter twist, other side. And then unwind. And we'll take a seated vinyasa. Finding your way back to down dog. When you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge, arms up. Come into a twist here, right elbow across. Take any variation you did on the other side. Let's release. Hands to the floor, step up. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Expanding from the center, past the tips of the fingers, past the top of the head. Last breath here. Release. Hands to the floor. Tuck the right knee. Come down for a seated spinal twist. So you can adjust your footing, your legs. That bottom leg can be straight or bent. Left foot to the outside of the right knee. Left hand to the floor behind you. Right arm hugs or hooks. Inhale. Sit tall. Exhale. Twist. One more breath here. Let's release. Little counter twist, other side. Walk the hands around. And then release. Back around to the front. Let's unwind and get set up for boat navasana. So we can take this gently or as challenging as you like. You might start with hands behind the legs to help lift the chest, nice long back. Feel free to stay here. This might be enough for you. You could keep the legs bent and extend arms straight, or you could come into the full pose with legs straight or partway straight. Keep the chest lifted, keep breathing, holding here a couple seconds. And then release. Cross your ankles, hands flat to the floor. We're going to lift the hips. Just try it. So shifting weight forward a little, see if you can get a little lift through the hips. You could try lifting the legs as well. And then release, unwind. Let's come back up. Same thing again. You're welcome to take a different variation. Just feel what you're doing. See if you can keep your face relaxed. Shoulders drop, breath deep. Last second. And release. Cross your ankles. Get a little lift. This time shift your weight forward. And let's try a little arm bounce called lolasana, scale pose. So ankles are crossed, knees are together, hands are on the floor, right by your legs. We're going to try and lift the knees to the chest and see about lifting the feet off the floor. So knees come up and then see if you can just lift for a second, like a little flap. And just trying is doing it. So it may look like this. And nothing's coming off the floor. That's okay. Just doing your best, engaging, trying to lift the knees in. Maybe ankles come off for a second. And release. So now we're going to lift up. And if you can, shoot your feet back to the back of the mat. So knees come up. And then feet hop back. If you didn't make it there, find your way. You can take a vinyasa. An extra breath or two, an up dog or cobra may feel good, opening the front side. Back to down dog. Let's come right into a pigeon pose. And slide the right knee forward, scoot back through the left leg, help the hips get as low as they'll go. Feel free to use props if you want to have support under the right hip or under the chest or forehead. Settling in, slowing down. Let's bring the upper body back up.
We're going to shift onto the right hip, so if you do have something under it, slide it out of your way. Bring the left knee forward, and we'll set up for half hero on the left side. So you want your left knee to point straight ahead, left toes point straight back. If this is too tight on your knee, your ankle, or your hips, you can either sit up on something. A little lift under the hips can make a big difference. A little padding under your ankle can make a big difference. So find how this works for you, and sometimes no matter what you try, it just doesn't work. So if that's the case, I'll show an alternative in a moment. So lean back onto your hands, pick up the hips, tuck the tail, and release down. And then you can stay on the hands or experiment with coming lower. It might be just one elbow, could be two elbows. Some of you might come all the way back. I want to keep the stretch in the quad and hip flexor, out of the lower back, no pain in the knee. So keep tucking the tail, directing from the hip to the knee, lengthening. Now, if this is not working for you, a different pose you could be just on your side and take your leg back, and that might work better for some bodies. To release, I'm going to lean to the right, straighten out that left leg, and you might give a little rub to your knee or your ankle, or a little circle to the ankle, working on any tightness in those joints. And then adjust the right sole of the foot to the left inner thigh, folding over that straight left leg, Janu Shirshasana. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release. Okay, let's take a seated vinyasa. So if you cross your ankles, we can try that little lift we did after boat. And then bring your feet to the floor in front of you, that little lift we did, scale pose. And from there, hop back. If we speed it all up, it can be a little bit more graceful. We'll try that on the second side. But just taking it piece by piece is an accessible way to start it if it seems inaccessible at first. Let's come all the way into pigeon on the other side. So now left knee comes forward, slide it towards the front, scoot the right leg back, help the hips get nice and low. See about the angle of that front leg, feel free to adjust it. See about props. And then settling in, feeling what's here. Bring the upper body back up, take your time. If you have something under your hip, slide it out of your way so you can lean to the left, slide the right knee forward, half hero, right side. So you can move your calf out of your way, try and have the toes point straight back, knee straight forward. If you need to, support under the ankle, support under the hip. Lean back onto the hands, tuck the tail, and then release. And it's not necessarily better to go lower. For some bodies, this is just right. For others, you might want to come lower to get the best stretch. Moment by moment, you can adjust. You might
start to come lower and then that's too much, come back up. You can always take that alternative pose on your side if that works better for you. And then release. Lean to the left, straighten that right leg out. Give a little rub to the knee, the ankle, working out knee tightness in any of the joints. Adjusting the left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. Shirshasana. So a little twist towards that straight leg, lengthen and fold. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release. Okay, so you can cross your ankles. Either take the step-by-step vinyasa that we did last time or try it sped up. So you can do the whole thing a little bit faster if you like. Take a moment in down dog just to even out the two sides. Let's come all the way onto our backs. Bring knees in. Take a little circle or rock with your knees, massaging the lower back and sacrum into the floor. We'll drop the feet, getting set up for a few back bends. We'll start with bridge. Feet hip width apart, parallel. Press your feet down to lift your hips high. Once your hips are high enough, interlace your fingers behind your back. Shrug your shoulders underneath you. Doing all the work to be in this shape, 100% effort and 100% surrender. What is there to let go of here? Take your arms out of your way, roll down, and rest. You can rest until you feel like coming up again. If you feel like coming up again, you can take any back bend, bridge, what we just did, or half wheel, full wheel, any arm or leg variation you know or want to try. Each time you come up, stay as long or short as you like. Could be just 1 or 2 breaths. Could be a long hold. Each time the pose feels complete, come down and rest. We are getting towards the end of class, so if there's something else you're needing, feel free to do that. If you have more back bends you want to take your time. And that could include supported bridge or supported fish or a totally different back bend. This is the time for you to wrap up your practice in the way that feels good for you. So feeling whatever you're doing now, when what you're doing feels complete, You can check in with your body, what's needed now. If you had been doing back bends, maybe a little counter stretch. Happy baby could be a good one. Forward fold, knees to chest, something else. What are the last poses, stretches you need? You might take a spinal twist, you might take an inversion, you might take a restorative pose. Anything or nothing. If really nothing's needed, go ahead and start getting comfortable in your final resting pose. As long as you're moving through your active practice, keep your breath deep, keep feeling what you're doing, directing your attention back to what you're doing. And when nothing else is needed, you can come into a symmetrical, relaxed position using any props to help you. Letting go into the support underneath you. And letting go of the control of your breath, the control of your attention, not trying to do anything. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And let this movement increase gradually through your wrists and ankles, eventually stretching out through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in, roll to one side. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. Come to a comfortable cross-legged position. Bring your hands together at your heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope you have a good rest of your day.